Well, hello and welcome back to our F1 Manager Maserati series as we have reached the halfway point in Season 2 in 2026. And we've got a lovely race today in this episode as we head to Silverstone, one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. I did say this on a live stream, might have been the last live stream. And I don't think that's a British bias thinking Silverstone is one of the best tracks on the grid. But of course, let me know in the comments what you think of Silverstone, especially if you're a non-Brit. It's good to get your take on the tracks on the calendar, but I do think Silverstone is one of the best. We get really good racing there. It's a proper racetrack. So we will be there today in our F1 Manager Maserati episode, and that's coming off the back of a string of really good results. And of course, if you're not up to date in the series, please do subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell to be made aware of when we drop these episodes, and if you can do me a massive favor and like this video, the likes really do help me out. And of course, if you're not up to date, go back to the Maserati playlist here on YouTube and check out the previous episodes. But yes, we've been on a very good run recently. Obviously, that really kicked off in Monaco with Antonelli's standout race where he won the Monte Carlo Grand Prix and brought us our first podium and win. But he followed that up in Barcelona with another podium, P3 in Spain. And then last time out in Austria, it was pretty good again for us. Franco Colapinto P5 and Kimi Antonelli P6. So Kimi has been taking the plaudits in the last couple of races before Austria, but Franco Colapinto beats him in Austria. So good job from Franco, and he's been consistent. So we've got no concerns with Franco. We're really enjoying our driver lineup at the moment. But as I say, today we head to Silverstone. Only 4 days until Silverstone. So we're not really going to see our new designs in action here in Silverstone. So 4 days, let's see what we'll do off track, and then we'll be back with the qualifying session in Silverstone. Okay, our latest driver development update. They're staying at their overall of 80 for Franco, 83 for Kimi. Colapinto, though, improving his defending, and Antonelli improving his control, which is very low, smoothness up as well as his accuracy. Pit crew training for this month, and it's very heavy with races. We've got back-to-back here with Silverstone and Hungary, then we've got a week off, and then we've got Spa and Zandvoort. So it's very much fatigue reduction here. If we look at the cumulative tab, you can see we're going a little bit too tired. We're still in the tired range for all races here, but it's normally just goes through to just etches over to the first bit of tired. But as you can see, it's 38% on the Sunday in Silverstone, 43% in Hungary, and 47% in Spa. Can't see Zandvoort as yet, but I'd imagine yeah, what can we... Yeah, so it's going to be similar to Hungary. I'd imagine it's going to be about 44, 45%. So still in the tired range. The good thing is, again, staying on that cumulative tab, is if you look at chance of mistake, it's 10%. Let's call it 11%. Let's round it up. 11% for both Silverstone and Hungary, and same really in Spa. So it should be around about 11%, around about that 10 to 11%. So we've got a 1 in 10 chance making a mistake in our pit stop. So relatively low. Happy with that. Total, not really mattering about the car building. We can't do too much on the pit stop time this month just because, as I say, so heavy with races. We've got to keep that fatigue down and keeping the stats pretty balanced. So it's just a balancing act this month to keep everything pretty neutral, and then hopefully a month where we've got less races, we'll be able to reduce that pit stop time again. Okay, we are manufacturing new parts. So we've got a new chassis on both cars. We've got a new rear wing that we can put on car one. I think that's Franco's car. Side pods we have got on both cars as well. And then I think we've got a suspension to manufacture, which is new as well. So let's just run with that. Let's run through that again then. So both cars are running a new chassis. Both cars, sorry, one car is running, Franco's running the rear wing, and both cars are running the new side pods. So both cars running new side pods and new chassis. Franco has got the rear wing, and Kimi will get that next race. And then we're also waiting for the underfloor to complete and front wing. So it's going to be a little while for that. And we've got another design slot, so let's do another rear wing. And we'll just max out on this. And minimum lifespan right down as always. And what is it? Medium speed we need a little bit more of now. So let's go with that. One engineer, 44 days. And then probably need to start doing a little bit more research after that. But with that said, we are now ready to head to Silverstone. Let's just mark all these as red. Yeah, we are ready. So race targets. I don't think these are ever going to change, are they? 18th or higher. It works for us, as I say, because pretty nailed on to achieve these unless we retire. So 18th or higher with Franco, 18th or higher with Kimi Antonelli. Let's get underway with practice then before getting this race underway. Okay, well, I forgot this is another sprint weekend, so we've only had one practice session and we're going to be straight into sprint qualifying setups. Luckily, well, I say luckily, we always try to do best in practice one as it is anyway. So we got Kimi Antonelli to 97% and Colapinto is at 88%. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Rather than mess about and change it, we're going to stick with that and get straight into sprint qualifying. Let's get some better car parts on. I think we can get away with keep that ERS on actually for now. Yeah, these gearboxes, I could probably go for that gearbox. Engine, we're halfway through. Yeah, we could probably switch to this new engine actually. And yeah, stick with that ERS. So let's go with that. And yeah, stay with that ERS and we'll put that gearbox in. So they've got pretty healthy car parts for this weekend as well. But let's head to sprint qualifying and see how we go then in Silverstone SQ1. Right, straight out, and I'm noticing a few cars are running damage in this session, but we're going to go straight out as we always do in sprint qualifying. We do it in qualifying anyway, but more important, sprint qualifying, try and get a lap in. There's going to be a bit of traffic here though, isn't there? I'm not holding up much hope for this, but let's 25.9, 25.5, 38.9. Yeah, Colapinto's lost loads of time. Yeah, Colapinto 2 seconds slower, so we're going to have to go again. This is the problem with sprint qualifying. It's busy, and you do get some surprises. Okay, we haven't sent Antonelli back out. He's in P7. I think he's going to be okay. Colapinto back out now. He's going quicker, which is good to see. He's got Lando Norris. I think that's going to be the only traffic he's got, and Lando's out of the way pretty nicely there. So I think we should be good to the end here. So Colapinto, if he nails this lap, hopefully he's going to make it through to SQ2. Getting checkered flag for a few of them now. Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Albon. So Antonelli, I think, is going to be pretty safely through here. Let's just see what Franco can do. Let's get him through these sectors. Go on, Greener, go in. Just a couple of corners to navigate then. Got to find probably a second. Quite a bit, but as we say, he was heavily hampered. He is on used tyres now. You only get one set of tyres across the line. Where does Franco go? He goes to P11. What do we got here? In-lap, flying lap. I think he's pretty safe. I think he's going to be safe. As we'll just see the rest come through. Yes, so both of our drivers then safely through to SQ2. Straight out again, and the whole grid is out this time, so we should be very good on traffic. There shouldn't be any traffic this time around. So let's jump on board then. Colapinto's done 25.3 first sector, so has Antonelli. So very close between our two drivers. Colapinto does a 37.8 second sector, but it's a 37.6 for Kimi Antonelli. So he's about a 10.5 to 2 tenths up on his teammate here. Colapinto looking good though on this lap. He hasn't had traffic which hampered him in SQ1. So a lot better for him this time round. And hopefully these laps will be enough to see us through to SQ3 as Bortoletto sets the pace. But Colapinto comes to the line and it's a 1:26.9. Antonelli, though, is going to go quicker than that. But it's only by Colapinto just under a tenth of a second slower. So very close between our two mates. And we always like to see that. But Hamilton puts nearly enough half a second on himself and Antonelli. So doesn't look like we're going to have the pace to challenge those Ferraris and likely the McLarens either. Hopefully around that sort of 5th, 6th mark. Although Stroll and the Aston putting a good time in as well there. We're not going to go again here, but the Aston Martins are looking very good, aren't they, around here? Maybe they've had a nice little upgrade package. We could be down to 9th and 10th here by the end of this. Got a yellow flag, poor chair. That's probably going to see him out. We are down to 8th and 9th. Norris, is he on a fly? Yeah, Sainz, Verstappen. Ooh, God, we could be out here. We could be out here because Norris is probably going to go quicker. Didn't think we'd go quicker on a used set of tyres. That's why I didn't go again. And it's going to cost us for Franco. Mick goes quicker. Behrman, Antonelli squeeze through, but Colapinto just misses out. And I think we should have probably gone again there because Bortoletto is into the top 10, but I think some teams have had upgrades here because the pace was pretty good there. Normally we go out late in SQ3, but it's an empty track, so I'm just going to try and get a time in now of Antonelli, see what pace we set. We can always get a second run in because it hampered us by not doing a second run there in SQ2. It's a shame. But let's see what he sets. He sets a 125.9. Unfortunately, Antonelli has not made it to the line in time. He had a lot of traffic he had to get out of the way for there, and it means he's not going to get a second run in. So we are currently P6. And we've got Max and Bortoletto to go. So it's at least P8 here. Max Verstappen. He jumps us. What about Bortoletto? Riding high in the top 10 here. Is it going to be P7 for Antonelli, or is it going to be P8? What can Bortoletto do? In the kick Sauber. Cross the line. He jumps Lewis Hamilton, but not enough to jump us. So it's Piastri on pole. Look at Liam Lawson in P2. That's a great result for him. But the Aston Martin certainly made a stride here in Silverstone. They're looking good, as well as a kick Sauber in the top 10. Antonelli will start P7. Colapinto, P11. And here we have the full classification then, as we say, Oscar Piastri on sprint pole, then it's Lawson, then Norris, Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Kimi Antonelli, Lance Stroll, Bortoletto, Lewis Hamilton, and Colapinto will start P11. Let's have a look at strategy then and get this sprint race underway. So looking at this, it looks like it will just about be a soft tyre. We could try the medium, which allows us to attack a little bit more. It's whether we mix it up a bit here. Might be worth just trying something a little bit different with Colapinto. He's going to be in the pack. He might be able to manage those tyres a little bit more and then attack on the mediums towards the end. So I think I'm going to try something a little bit different with Franco. I think just going on the softs like most of the grid will go on, is that going to make a difference to be able to get him up to the top 8 for points? Probably not. So I'm not too concerned because it's not like we're in the points currently and he's going to lose out. I think with Antonelli, we are in that top 8. We don't want to do anything silly, so softs make sense. I think Colapinto, let's mix up a bit. Try something a little bit different. See if we can get him in the top 8. Let's set this up then. And let's get this sprint race in Silverstone then underway. Here we go then, the sprint in Silverstone about to get underway. We've got 5 lights and they're out relatively quickly as Piastri gets us underway. Lawson, one of his best qualifying sessions, if not his best of the year, starting this sprint in P2, but he's down to P3 as Colapinto starts P11. Antonelli is currently P6. He's got Leclerc though on his outside, but he will get the inside here, so hopefully he can stay in there, but it looks like he might have lost that. So P7 for Antonelli. Let's have a quick look at tyres, shall we? Ricciardo's locked up. That's not good on a sprint, especially if he's on the softs, and he is on the softs.
Struggling with the car. By that point, it was just too late.
That could be very costly. Let's have a look what tyre life he's on. Down to 90%. Got some medium runners. Magnussen, Pourchaire, Behrman, Bortoletto and Colapinto. And Colapinto is past Bortoletto.
Now we're watching the action closely here.
He's got great traction, great speed, I should say. Not even traction, just great speed there. Colapinto. And he's on the inside of Lewis Hamilton then, but on the outside, sorry. Lewis Hamilton holds him off though. I think we're just going to settle into our strategy here. Don't want to push these tyres too hard too early. Colapinto up to P10 then.
Stroll straight behind.
And we've got a yellow flag here. I think Stroll has gone wide. And that may have given Colapinto a position here. It has indeed, because he was ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Franco Colapinto. And again, that's a massive lock-up. You don't want to be doing that. That's going to wreck Stroll's race, as it probably has Danny Rick's as well. So Stroll... Ricciardo down to 84% tyre life, Stroll down to 78, so those two absolutely cooking their tyres there. Colapinto's just lost the DRS to Hamilton. They might just need to deploy a bit of battery out of here. I think Lewis Hamilton's got a great chance of getting past Antonelli here. He has used a little bit more tyre life though. Antonelli just trying to keep his tyres for the remainder of this sprint. Here comes Hamilton on the outside then, and he's through. Colapinto does see off Carlos Sainz though.
It's just a lot of
I think Colapinto going to be in trouble here with Carlos Sainz. Sainz really pushing his tyres though, down to 85%. I can't see them lasting. So Carlos Sainz may well get past us here, but I'm not too concerned about him because I think he's absolutely wrecking his tyres. And there he goes. He's pushing a little bit too hard, I suggest, this early on. Antonelli's broken the DRS now to Sainz, so this gives Colapinto the perfect opportunity now to get past. And here we come, DRS pulling out early then. This hopefully should be job done on Carlos Sainz, and it is. Colapinto into P9 then. We now run P8, P9 with our drivers. And Colapinto's got to push back on to his teammate Antonelli now. And he's nearly dropped Sainz out of the DRS already. So Sainz, yeah, really struggling with his tyres, or trying to conserve a bit of tyre life, I suggest. Colapinto again DRS at the moment. They're free to fight. No team orders. But it's again the same outcome. It is now 3.5 to Hamilton. So I do feel we need to release Colapinto here. And just see what pace he's got. As we've got a yellow flag. That's Ollie Behrman. And Antonelli has released Colapinto then. Just Ollie Behrman running wide. Right, so Colapinto released then by Antonelli. Let's see if we've got any more pace. Got a yellow flag. Bortoletto looks like he's out of this race. No, he's still going. Significant damage though. I think it's just a yellow flag. No virtual or full safety. Oh, wow, that was a late replay, but it looks like Bortoletto's just gone into the side of Mick Schumacher. And then they've made contact again.
That was close.
I don't think that was close. I think it was... can't get much closer. And yeah, Bortoletto carries on. Mick's down dead last. Our drivers, with about 5 laps to go. Colapinto has not broken the DRS for Antonelli. Antonelli's staying with him. Still got a bit of tyre life for Colapinto on those mediums though, so he might be able to pull away. We're just monitoring that. But yeah, gap did go as high as 6 seconds to Hamilton. It's down to 4 seconds. I don't think we can do much more, so it looks like we're on for a point here. And Bortoletto's got a 5-second penalty for that incident. And Bortoletto, with that damage, has retired. And we see Mick Schumacher making his stop as well. Okay, we've got 3 laps to go here. And Colapinto has broken the DRS for Antonelli. We start to attack on this tyre. Antonelli's still got 37%, but Hamilton Alonso now down to 34%. There might be opportunities here for Colapinto right at the end of this race. I think Antonelli's going to be a little bit too far back. Colapinto trying to get into that DRS, and he is there now. We have a lap and a half to go. Hamilton's tyres are gone, so is Alonso's basically. Could be opportunities here then for Colapinto. Problem is, Alonso's got DRS on Hamilton. But we should have such better tyre life here. We should be able to brake so much later, but we're not going to be close enough here. No, not close enough. The problem is that DRS that they're giving each other. Norris about to start the final lap then of this race. Colapinto right on the back of these guys now. Should be getting much better traction. Here we go. But he's not going to get the slipstream. If Alonso didn't have DRS or slipstream here, this would be easy pickings. Colapinto, can you send one in there? No, he can't. He's on high for a overtake. Send it on the inside here. Franco. No, Franco, you've got to be more aggressive. Got to look for different places to overtake it. No, Franco, please. You've got to be more bold than this, Franco. Their tyres are absolutely shot. But we can't get past them. Franco.
No overtake. Yeah.
It's not going to find it around there either. Franco, this is really poor. Really poor from Colapinto here. He could have got P6 here. Hamilton's tyres down to 24%, but Franco's... No, that's going to cost you pulling out there, Franco. Well, this has been a disappointment from Franco here. He could have had a good go. Can he send one? No, not the outside, Franco. Look at the inside, Franco. Oh, Franco Colapinto. That could have been P6. He is going to come away with a point, though. I think the medium was the right tyre. But unfortunately, we don't do enough to get P6. P6 was there, but Colapinto P8 and Antonelli only a second and a half off in the end. So I think medium would have been right on both drivers. Yeah, unfortunately there, Colapinto, I think a little bit disappointing in his attacking movements there on the final lap and a half. Still gets a point, but I think we could have got a couple more there. But it is P8 for Colapinto, P9 for Antonelli, and it's a McLaren 1-2. Here we go then, full classification. Piastri wins it, Lando Norris second, Max Verstappen third, Charles Leclerc fourth, Lawson fifth. Did start second, but still takes P5. Lewis Hamilton sixth, Fernando Alonso seventh. As we saw, Colapinto up 3 to 8, but he could have finished sixth. Antonelli dropped 2 places to 9th. I think the medium would have worked better for both drivers, but good to split the strategy and definitely worked for Franco Colapinto. Carlos Sainz rounds out the top 10, but he finished quite a bit off our 2 drivers in the end. Let's head then to qualifying for the full race.
Mate,
Antonelli just out of the pits on his outlap, and a Spinalowski for Kimi Antonelli. Not good. We'll still get him to do his full lap. Hopefully he's not lost too much tyre life.
I lost the rear.
Now, you expected that in Silverstone recently when it was wet coming out of the pits, but not so much on a dry track. He's took 5% out, so yeah, we'll still get him to do his hot lap. On these hot laps then, Colapinto 25.4 first second, 25.5 for Antonelli, 37.8 second sector, 38.0, so about 3 tenths or so to Colapinto. Say Antonelli's took a little bit more tyre life out of his tyres with that spin. Let's see Colapinto come across the line. Looks like he is going to be going quicker than his teammate. Now that's Antonelli we're watching, but Colapinto has finished. Here comes Antonelli. And it is about 4 tenths of a second then. So let's see how that puts us with the rest of the grid. Okay, checkered flag. We've taken a bit of a risk here because we didn't send Colapinto back out. And the worry was Bortoletto and Ocon's gone quicker. It's still a worry because we've got P on hot laps. But Perez is now finished. Hulkenberg's finished. Pourchaire's finished. So we need another 3 behind not to go quicker. Mick has finished. So yeah, I think it's still going to be, might be touch and go for Colapinto. Antonelli needs to improve, and he is improving. How many finished now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just need Behrman probably to go slower. Antonelli, he jumps ahead of Colapinto. Behrman has gone slower. So thankfully, both our drivers then are going to be through to Q2. Okay, into Q2, set a lap on a scrub set of tyres. Now on our flying laps with fresh softs. Unfortunately, Colapinto not gone quicker through that first sector though. It's a 25.2 to 24.9 to Antonelli. So he's lost about 3 tenths through that first sector. So not good for Colapinto. Stroll and Leclerc have finished behind him though. So there is still a chance. Pretty strong chance still with Albon, Gasly, Bortoletto behind that we get through to Q3 here even without this lap. And he's not going to improve by the looks of it. Antonelli is going to improve. Let's jump on board with Antonelli then because it's not looking too good for Colapinto. But Stroll, Gasly, Leclerc, Bortoletto now finished. Lawson now finished. I think Colapinto and Antonelli would survive on these laps anyway. But let's just wait and see. Colapinto is about to finish his lap. Antonelli not quicker through the middle sector. So he may not improve by too much either, if at all. It's currently just under 2/100 of a second. He does improve slightly by about 1/10 and a half in the end. And I think we're going to be safely through then with both drivers to Q3. Here we go then, Q3 and our final laps on fresh soft. Same as we did in Q2, we've set a time on scrub tyres. Antonelli's time looks pretty good. To be fair, it's only 4 tenths off the current pole time. So whether he can improve, I don't know. Whether he got a toe on that first lap. He's not improving. That's probably expected because I think that's a pretty damn good time for Antonelli. Colapinto does improve. It's 24.9. 25.1 for Antonelli. So Colapinto a couple of tenths up on this lap. But he's 6 tenths behind on the first runs is Franco. So let's just wait and see. Hamilton has finished. Sainz and Stroll has finished. So Colapinto's at least P8. Antonelli is at least P7 as Norris puts it on pole, but 3 tenths between himself and Fernando Alonso. Antonelli now sitting in P4. As we get a second sector times, it's a 37 flat for Franco, 37.5 for Antonelli. Antonelli is not improving. He is going to box because that time is not going to be improved. Can Colapinto out-qualify Kimi Antonelli here? He's going a lot quicker, but as I say, he was a fair bit down on the first runs. Here comes Franco across the line. What time does he set? He does beat Antonelli. And it's by about 3 tenths of a second there. 2.5 tenths. Like, good work from Colapinto. Verstappen only P8. So we are going to be P5 and P6. Lawson had a good sprint qual. And again here in full qualifying, he's up to 3rd. And everyone else has finished. So Fernando Alonso, that Aston Martin, has certainly had an upgrade package. And he's going to be on the front row. It's Norris on pole. Full qualifying results then. Lando Norris, as we said, on pole. Fernando Alonso 2nd. Lawson 3rd. Oscar Piastri 4th. Then our 2 drivers. Franco Colapinto P5. Kimi Antonelli P6. Sainz in 7th. Verstappen 8th. Stroll 9th. And Hamilton rounds out the top 10. That means Leclerc was knocked out in Q2. He was. He starts P13. Bortoletto had that accident with Mick Schumacher in the sprint. He's going to take a grid penalty. Let's see then strategy before getting this one underway. Okay, the first thing you can see is we're on inters all the way through, so it's going to be a wet race. And yeah, it is just going to be inters. Doesn't look like it's going to dip enough for softs or dry compound tyres. Pick what you want, softs, mediums or hard, but doesn't look like it's going to drop enough. Quite low here. Lap 45, but not for long enough. Maybe here as well, but yeah, just not long enough. So it looks like it will be inters all the way through. Default is a 2-stop. I don't know if we can mix this up at all with anything else. You could just try an inter all the way to the end, but it's not going to be quick. So it looks to be pretty boring in terms of strategy. Not too much we can do to mix it up, really. It's going to be 2 sets of inters, really, by the looks of it. So yeah, it's going to be a wet race all the way through. It's going to be inters all the way, so not too much we can do on that. We'll see. Obviously, if our radar's a little bit out, there might be a drier spell for a couple of laps, but again, you're probably better off just burning your inters up for a couple of laps before the rain comes. So we'll see how we go, though. We're starting P5 with Colapinto, P6 with Antonelli. Let's get this one underway.
It's the British Grand Prix.
Here we go then, a wet Silverstone. Where have we seen that recently? And it's a McLaren on pole, but Fernando Alonso starts P2 here. Fernando doing big things in that Aston Martin. As I say, we're starting P5 and P6. Let's see how we go today. And as I say, sometimes we can, on the game at least, a full wet race can be a little bit dull, but hopefully we don't get that. Sainz has pushed out quite wide there in his battle with Antonelli. Really want to go heavy on the defensive of those drivers. So Norris leads then, and Alonso P2, Piastri P3, Lawson P4. Or is he? Because we're coming on the inside of Franco Colapinto. No, a little bit too far back there. And yes, I'm surprised that down here the Ferraris really struggled. So they're bogged down a little bit. Antonelli all over the rear wing of Colapinto. We'll allow our drivers to fight. We don't want to make a move through there, though, and we haven't. Colapinto really hounding Liam Lawson here in the early phases. No DRS, of course, because it's wet, so got to rely on ERS and driver ability. And it looks like Lawson might be swept aside as Colapinto makes a lovely move around the outside then of Lawson, and he moves himself up to P4, and Antonelli might make that 2 Maseratis past him. Not quite, but traction looks good on the outside, running out of room though. But still a chance, and yes, Antonelli is through as well then, so Lawson loses out to both of our drivers there.
You're doing a good job at the moment.
So up into P4, P5, started P5, P6, so both have dispatched Lawson, but Lawson's got a chance coming back at Antonelli here. Is he going to send it? No, he's not. Antonelli covers him off. Good stuff. We remain then in P5. Norris leads by 2 seconds from Alonso. Everyone will be on inters, of course. Max Verstappen is 8, but he's probably got quite a good chance of getting past us, so we want him to be held up really by Sainz. Oh no! That's not us. I thought it was us at some point there. But it wasn't, it was Sainz. I was getting confused there. Sainz and Lawson have come together.
Yes, we have. We've had a crash. What happened there?
I think Liam Lawson's going to be a passenger in this. Yes, he is. Sainz probably locked up there and just crashes into Lawson. Nothing Lawson could do about that.
It's not going the way that...
And Lawson lost a couple of positions. Now he's taken out. Sainz looks like he might have to retire with terminal damage. Lawson's right at the back of the field. His race absolutely wrecked. And Antonelli's been given a little bit of a breather there because it's now Stroll and Verstappen behind. So we'll see if Sainz has to retire. Lawson stays out. Sainz is in. Is this to retire? Or is this to just pit as Ricciardo develops a mechanical fault? I think he's retiring. There's no pit crew out. So, yeah, Sainz, due to his accident that he caused, he's retired. So, Carlos Sainz out of the race. I wonder if we use Antonelli just to hold these guys up, or at least secure P4 for Colapinto. I think that's the way I'm going to approach it because
Move charge, move charge.
I feel if Verstappen, Hamilton especially, are released into clean air, they're going to get close to Colapinto straight away. So we can maybe try and do a little bit of a hold-up job.
Try to do your best with the lift.
Antonelli now is 4 seconds. So Colapinto's now got a 4-second gap, and we can see the Ferraris coming into play now. So Antonelli doing a massive job for us here. This is trying to secure P4 for Colapinto, but hopefully P5 for Antonelli as well. But that might be a hard task.
More charge, more charge.
It's good work for him. He's going to have good pace though, because he's building a tyre delta here, so we'll be able to extend him probably by a lap and really push on the fuel, battery and tyres at some point. Go again, just holding them up heavily through here, and the Ferraris will join this party shortly. We're just taking full advantage of not having DRS available on the track because we'd be done for if not out of here. And we didn't use too much battery that time out of there, so Stroll might have an opportunity, although I don't think he's close enough. Has a look again, but no, nothing's going to be doing through there. And Antonelli playing the team job for us then. Lovely work.
Okay,
but yeah, Stroll getting very annoyed, I think, at this point, being stuck behind us. Is he alongside here? I don't think he quite is. No, we're going to cut him off again. He's getting so close though here, and the Ferraris are in on the action as well now. And we'll deploy out of here.
Overtake available. Copy. Mode attack.
Yeah, these are getting fed up now behind us. They're getting absolutely fed up of sitting behind us, but I'm loving this.
Mode charge. Copy.
I'm loving this defensive job. He's put 7 seconds now between him and his teammate. He's given his teammate 7 seconds, let's put it that way. It's now Max, though, the car behind. Now that might be a slightly different beast than Lance Stroll, and Hamilton's past Stroll as well. So, as I say, slightly different beast now in our rear view mirror. Not that we've got one of those right here, but there you go. Got some wing mirrors. Right, we can still harvest out of here, though. I wonder if Max is going to be in at the end of this lap. Yes, he is. He's pushing hard there. Where will Verstappen come out here? Ricardo's past him. He's not stopped yet. Gasly's there. Verstappen will be out ahead of Gasly, will he? No, he won't. Will Gasly hold him up? I'm going to get Colapinto in this lap. Let's get Colapinto in this lap, and Antonelli will push on for a few more laps as Alonso into the pits. But here comes Franco Colapinto then. This should be our one and only pit stop for Franco today. Half race distance. And he should be comfortably clear of Verstappen here. Need a good pit stop though. That was slow somewhere. 3.5 is not too... Well, it's slow, but it's not too bad. We'll get away with that. Second slower than we wanted. Here's Verstappen. There's Colapinto. Gasly's in now. And there we go. We're out. 3.7 ahead of Verstappen then. And we've got 3% tyre life. So, undercut. Pretty good, though, because he's took a good 3-4 seconds off us there. So, we just need to manage that now. And Antonelli. He's got Alonso, who's just stopped behind him. So, Alonso will get past us, of course. Let's get Antonelli in next lap. Here we go. Piastri into the pit, so he's the last of the top three to stop. Verstappen still within about 3.7 of Colapinto. Hopefully a better stop for us here. Yeah, 2.3, we like that. So, Colapinto should be past him.
Will be clear going out.
We think Verstappen is going to be past us. But it's going to be close. There is Verstappen. It was very close, actually. So, Antonelli, as we thought, has been jumped by Max, but he's got 7% tyre life on Max. So if you can try and close that gap, and hopefully we can push past him. As Verstappen has developed a mechanical fault. That's not good for him, but it's very good for us.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind...
That's a crofty replay, so we're not going to learn too much from that, unfortunately. I don't think we'll be able to see here yet either, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. No, we can't. Once we complete this lap, we'll be able to see what that issue is. So let's have a look. But if Verstappen is hampered, that's going to work out very nicely for us. So Verstappen has got an ERS issue. So it's not going to be something that's going to be terminal. It's not going to finish his race, but it might mean he's very slow, especially with no DRS. If he's not got very good battery, that could work very much in our favour. Alright, let's go high on the overtake. Acesso Torres, I've butchered that, but thanks for the follow. Kimi, SR Riley, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. OPGO, you're back, good to have you back, buddy. Yeah, Hamilton and the Ferrari now into the pits, but Antonelli all over Verstappen. Verstappen's keeping 3.6 behind Colapinto though, so I don't think that issue is critical at the moment. We may as well try and take advantage, because if he's not got battery out of this corner, we've got a really good chance of reclaiming P6, which will be a net P5. Let's see if he's got battery issues out of here. I think he has, because he's very slow, and we're past. That was easy. He's definitely got an ERS issue. Clearly visible there. And Antonelli is through.
You're doing a good job.
It's hard enough to overtake anyway with no DRS, so with Max having no ERS, he's going to struggle for the rest of this race, I'd imagine.
Watching the action closely.
Look at the speed difference here.
They decide to give it a go.
Yeah, his ERS really causing him issues. As Leclerc is finally into the pits. He's already made that pit stop. Where is he going to come out? Oh, you viewed with the super sticker. Thank you, buddy. Too kind. Thank you so much. Tyler, hello, how's it going? Leclerc, so he's out in P9. Antonelli, yeah, still got that gap on Verstappen. So I feel we're pretty good for P4, P5 here. We just need these McLarens to get close to each other and fight each other and crash out to give us a double podium finish. Yellow flag, Lawson involved again in something. He's already taken out by Sainz, and now Liam Lawson's had a spin. He's having an awful Silverstone today. Yeah, just loses it. Yeah, here they're getting close, aren't they? I think we're going to have to revert to our old tactic here and hold these two up.
Okay, you can slow down a bit now.
Again. Yeah.
Mode race, okay.
Oh, Max has got a chance here. Antonelli. Yes. He's going to get through. Right, we're going to have to try and attack him straight back here. He's got no battery, so we've got a chance.
As much as possible.
That was slack from us on the battery, really. Look at this. Max is struggling with his ERS, so because we're saving battery, we've got a great opportunity to come straight back. Oh, that's bold through there. Max is hanging it out. Not the angle we wanted. Here we go. This is better. Oh, look at the bite through here. This is lovely stuff, and Antonelli is going to come out on top. We'd better stay on deploy here. All right, there we go. But we'll try and push away now of Antonelli. Alav, thanks for the follow. Yeah, we should be able to push up the road then, away from Verstappen, I'm hoping.
Behind Verstappen.
Yeah, there we go. We're broken 2 seconds now to Max. Final lap, Norris leads by 2.2. He is going to win this race. It's going to be Piastri P2, but Alonso's going to be on the podium here today. Yeah, Piastri got close. He had a good tyre delta, Piastri. There he is, but he needed a few more laps today. And it's not going to happen because Lando Norris, as he did in real life in Silverstone, is going to do the same in-game today as he sets the fastest lap on the final lap. No, he doesn't, because Oscar Piastri says, no, I'm quicker than you. And Lando Norris wins in Silverstone as he did on Sunday. Piastri comes second as he did on Sunday. But we didn't. We had an older boy in P3 on Sunday, but not quite as old as this one. Fernando Alonso, P3 for Aston Martin. And here we are, our two drivers lined up together. Verstappen's dropped to 7th. Leclerc is past him. But Antonelli's been the defensive man today, rear gunner. And that's allowed Colapinto to come home for P4. And Antonelli, P5. And Leclerc, P6, not too far back. And then Verstappen, P7. Hamilton, P8. And Lance Stroll, the mighty Lance Stroll, is going to get double points for Aston Martin. And Albon, Alex Albon, is going to get P10 for Williams here then. As we see him cross the line. Alex Albon P10, but that's been a very good race for us. Norris wins it, Piastri second, but it's P4 for our drivers in Colapinto and P5 for Antonelli. Here we go, full classification. So as I say, Lando Norris, as in real life, wins it at Silverstone. Oscar Piastri up 2 to second. Fernando Alonso gets a podium in P3, and then our two drivers up 1 place each. Franco Colapinto finishes P4, Kimi Antonelli P5, Leclerc up 7 places. Strong drive from Charles Leclerc to finish 6th. Max Verstappen 7th, Hamilton 8th. Lance Stroll finishes where he starts in 9th. And then Alex Albon up 4 places to sneak into P10 and gain himself a sneaky little point. A Drivers' Championship, this will be looking very good for Lando Norris. I think this is race 10, and he's won 7 of them so far. So 220 points for Lando Norris. He's got a 70-point margin on his teammate. It's been a sprint weekend, and he's extended that margin by 6 points. Irene Campos, thanks for the follow. So yeah, he's extended that. 70 points now. It's looking like a 2026 title for Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri P2. Charles Leclerc P3, no movement actually in this top 10. Hamilton P4, Max Verstappen P5, Kimi Antonelli P6, Colapinto P7, but both gaining on those ahead of them. Fernando Alonso P8, and then Perez 9th, Carlos Sainz 10th. Then the rest of the points, Stroll 11th, Albon 12th, Ricciardo 13th, and Liam Lawson 14th. Gets another 4 points this weekend, not from the race, but from the sprint race. Unlucky, really, because he qualified high in the race, but he was taken out early by Carlos Sainz and really could never recover from that. Wasn't really his fault. Constructors, McLaren, as is real life, they're just running away with this. This is going to be their title this year. Ferrari are second. We do gain a little bit, 3 points on them, and we extend on Red Bull. So Ferrari second, ourselves Maserati in P3. And maybe we can actually make a serious case to finish P3 because, as I say, we've extended on Red Bull, who are really only scoring points at the minute with Max, so they're on 117. Aston Martin take another 19 points. They're closing on Red Bull, actually, in P5. Mercedes, no points again. They won the Drivers' Championship last year and were very high up in the Constructors. I think they're P2. They've really dropped off this year, though. P6. And Williams may be able to catch them. They're in P7 on 37. Still 4 teams yet to score, and we're halfway through the season. RB, Alpine, Kick Sauber, and Haas still yet to get off the mark. Pit stops, did we do anything? We did. Kimi Antonelli's pit stop got us some points, another 15. And we are still P4 in that pit stop championship, so we're liking that one as well. And we'll get our sponsorship objective because we finished at least 18th or higher. I'm not sure why it's 18th or higher because that's easy for us to achieve, so we like that indeed. And we've now just got 4 days until we get to Hungary being the next race. Round 11. This is a 19 race season. We've dropped 5 races, so it's a shorter season. So round 11. So we've got 9 races to go now, halfway through the season. And we're looking good, hopefully, for P3 in the Constructors. But that's going to bring this one to a close. So a very good race for us. Started P5, P6, brought the cars home P4, P5. As I say, Kimi Antonelli was just that rear gunner today, held the pack up, gave Colapinto some breathing room. And Colapinto just had a nice race, really, didn't he? Never was attacking anyone, really, was never defending anyone, just racing laps around Silverstone and comes home P4. Kimi Antonelli probably could have had a go at Colapinto at the end. We thought that was a bit unfair just how we set up the race. So we bring the cars home as they were in P4, P5. Not enough for a podium, but very good points just outside for P4 and P5. So we are very happy with that. On to Hungary. We might have another upgrade before Hungary, for Hungary even. So we'll see how that does. But of course, if you're enjoying this series, please do like the video. If you're not already, do follow or subscribe. And we're going to be back very soon with the next one.